I know season is ending and most probably you do not even care about ranking in Go Battle League, but for the few of you that still want to have some pretty good results in GBL and most probably get the maximum amount of rewards from that Go Battle League, I guess that playing in Great League with this team can absolutely help you out. Not only we're gonna take a look today at a very strong line, but also this team is gonna utilize Greninja, which is an all-time fan favorite pick for Pokemon Go. So over here now we're just gonna be able to completely farm down with our Icearts because of how strong Dugong can be against those flyers. So we come across now their lead option. I guess there is no reason for them not to return with Deoxys, so I guess we can easily go ahead and debuff this Pokemon just a little bit with that amazing Ice Wind. Shadow Ball also to nuke down the remaining HP they have. I'm lagging as always, so I cannot even reach to the charge attack, but still it doesn't make any difference at all because my Dugong can easily go in, draw some shields with the Ice Wind, which is pretty great if you ask me. And now with Greninja coming into the game, all we need here in order to win is not to lag. However, this is not that possible because as you're gonna see in a while, we might get a little bit of FPS drop, and my opponent here, after they go for the drill run, they can have a chance at beating me down, but hopefully no lag on that final tap on Night Slash, so we still manage to get that soft victory against our opponent. Into the next one now, trainers, with that Lantern up in front. This Pokemon is always a troublesome one for a lot of Pokemon on Great League, and Annihilate is no different because it can still hit us pretty hard with those Thunderbolts, but a Surf can easily be taken. What I have figured out is that next season Spark is gonna get a severe debuff, so I guess that we're gonna see less Lanterns, especially with Spark in Great League. Perhaps we're gonna see more Lanterns with a water gun version, so just keep that in mind. Also, I have heard that items are coming up alongside abilities in Pokemon Go, so perhaps this is gonna be kind of a big game changer for a lot of Pokemon. Now with the drill run we can do some extra damage on that Empoleon, but it can still survive the fallen Icearts because it can double resist them. Hopefully though we're bulky enough to survive the charge attacks and answer back at them with a Iceart. I know that here I can easily farm down with my Greninja, so my opponent definitely knows that as well. Now their final Pokemon is only the Mandibuzz, which means that we can absolutely catch the move here on our Annihilate, which is absolutely great news for us, and now we're just a couple of Hydro Cannons away from our victory. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take whatever they throw because of how good we can be offensively. Hydro Cannon number 1, and right after we're just gonna go for the shield. Are we gonna go for the move right straight ahead? Of course we are trainers, so we're just gonna finish them off in style, both the Empoleon and those Mandibuzzes with our Water Shuriken. Here, let's go ahead now into the next battle, everyone, with a Whiskas on Shadow form up in front. This Pokemon can always be a tricky menace for our team because of how good it can be on those energy points. It can get to those charge attacks fairly fast, but hopefully here we manage to catch on our Dugong. You can already tell that sometimes we need to come aggressively into the fight with our Dugong, and this team might be extra weak to those charms, but at the same time we can get a little bit of extra coverage with our bulk and our moves. So here comes now an Icy Wind over that Wigglytuff, which means that we can drop them super low at the point that the next charm will not even be registered, and one counter will just finish them down from our Annihilate. Let's see now how they want to respond because they have a double normal backline with Wigglytuff and Lickitung. So Lickitung is obviously a threat that we do not want to see with Power Whip, but I decide to take the risk here and they get their hands on that Body Slam. The battle is definitely not over yet, and now we need to do is to get to the Hydrocan to start pushing for some shields. My opponent here gets a little bit too greedy because, as you're gonna see, they want to overfarm a lot with that Whiskas, and I guess that they definitely lost track of our energy points, so we can easily finish them off at some point. And now Lickitung will follow the same fate, so they need to top left this battle. Into the next one now, trainers, with a Dugong up in front. This is arguably a very good lead for us, but still kinda playable for them, so I guess that if we can catch here the Scald and we can absolutely do this on our Dugong, we're gonna be on an even better position. Not only that, but also Scald next season is actually as well gonna be reduced on that debuff chance, so I guess that less and less Scald users are gonna be up against you on Open Great League. Perhaps we're gonna see more of those Blizzard Whiskases around in Great League, which is gonna be kinda interesting as well. So down they go now to the Ice Wind, and of course they will return into the battle with their Dugong. They make a crucial mistake of going here for the move, so I believe that we can easily survive the next charge attack and absolutely destroy them down, or at least I hoped so, because this Ice Wind makes us drop to 0 HP. Nevertheless, this is gonna be the same outcome because they still have a Gligar at the back. Obviously, this is gonna be much better for them since my Dugong is out of the way, but still we can get our hands on a couple of Hydro Cannons to finish them down. Gligar now is unshielded, so I guess that they're gonna fall to my move, and now with only Dugong remaining at the very end, they're just gonna back out from this battle. Into the next one now with the Skarmory up in front. This Pokemon is always kind of a big deal for the fighters, but for our Annihilate not so much, especially with Steel Wing on Skarmory. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try to catch the move on Dugong. Most of the times you want to use Dugong with this team as a punching bag so that you can keep the seals for the end game, either for the return of your Annihilate or just go ahead and use the standard strategy with Greninja as your pure closer. So now with Serperior out of the way, I guess we can expect a Mad Boy on the very end, and Greninja can absolutely outspeed those Mad Boys for sure with its water shurikens. So instead of the Mad Boy though, they end up having a Pokemon like this Dragonair, which is kinda problematic for us. All we want to do here is to go ahead and push even more with our Night Slashes. They're gonna take the first one, which is a pretty good call, because if they blocked and we got the buff, well, that could have not ended well for them, and in the process they can still farm us down. This is not looking that great, so I decide to let the move go through, because I'm pretty sure I cannot farm down before they reach to another charge attack. So well played to my opponent, and now let's move forward into the next battle. Shadow Swampert up against us, and I guess we can somehow have the upper hand over here with our fighter and those counters. Ice Punch now, and we managed to catch the Hydro Cannon on our Dugong. This is a pretty big deal for us, because now we can easily survive the next move and absolutely farm down in the process. So now Dugong on the mirror, and we can have the slight energy advantage, which means that perhaps we can still finish them down with one more drill run. However, as I can see it right now from my perspective of the commentator, well, perhaps the next drill run will not do the trick, so I decide to switch out. Oh my goodness, I totally outplayed myself here, and I believe we can easily farm down in the process. Now with that Mandibuzz coming into the game, I'm just gonna spam my way to victory with those Ice Punches. So another one is imminent, trying to do as much damage as possible. My switch timer is almost up, but we need to come into the battle with our Dugong. This means now that they have to get their hands on that Aerial Ace, and I believe that my Greninja here might actually be the closing Pokemon that we need for this individual battle. battle. So let's get now our hands on the Night Slash, and right here this is a clutch scenario because we managed to survive the move, and now Swampert has to come into the game and throw some energy. So Night Slash now will definitely destroy down the remaining HP that Swampert is having, and one more Night Slash to guarantee the victory against a very skillful trainer. Into the next battle now, trainers, with an Annihilate on that mirror match. You know what, I'm gonna go straight for that saddle, okay, and see how they respond, because most probably they are gonna let the move go through if I let their own go through as well. Perhaps they're expecting the Night Slash, but guess again, we do not even have a Night Slash. We're just gonna go straight for the nuke. Down they go, and now Lickitung will come into the battle. So you can always run Night Slash on your Annihilate, but it is always up to you. I do not recommend a standard moveset on that Pokemon. What I recommend though to go for is Shadow Ball for sure, while your second move can be either a Night Slash or the Ice Punch, or just go and surprise your opponent with a freaking close combat. So right here now, we're just gonna take the move. I know this is gonna be fatal for us, but we have already done our job with our Dugong. So now with that Shadow Ball, we managed to get that shield out of play, and perhaps we can have the upper hand over that Dugong with our Greninja. So here comes now my Night Slash. If they take the move, down they go, and this is pretty good for us. Now with only Lickitung remaining at the very end, we can farm up a ton of energy and try to go for a double Hydro Cannon, one for the shield, one for the knockout, and Lickitung will most likely get out of the way after this move, which means that this is gonna end up into another huge win for us. Into the final one now, trainers, with a Lantern up in front. So we had an early Lantern battle in this video, and we have the final one with Lantern as well, and I want to showcase this one because they play this completely differently. So I'm just gonna go ahead and come into the battle now with Dugong over Mandibuzz. We saw that before, and of course those flying Pokemon are gonna struggle a lot against my icy moves, and in the process I figure out that I can easily farm down with my Dugong. Another move, the Dark Pulse, and we still manage to get the knockout. Even if Lantern comes into the game, I'm still gonna get my hands on the Icy Wind just in case we can survive the Spark, but this is not the ideal scenario for me because we still go down. So we had one more move ready to go, but it's all good, we can still come into the battle with our Annihilate, having our Greninja hidden for the very end game. Let's see now what they have at the back, because Surf is coming up and we need to overfarm as much as we can. Now with the Shadow Ball we can easily finish them off. They want to keep that final shield into game for that final Pokemon, which ends up being a Shadow Gligar. This is wonderful news for us because over here now we can charge up a ton of energy, get to a couple of Hydro Cannons, and of course at least one is gonna go through the shield, and we managed to get that final victory for this video. That is gonna be all for today, trainers. Thank you for watching, for sticking around till the end. It really means a lot for my channel. Before you go, leave a huge like, subscribe to my content, and I hope to see you all into the next one. Take care, trainers.